On the 6th wedding anniversary, Ethan's female subordinate officially announced their relationship on Facebook. Please bless us. In the accompanying image, the wedding ring on the man's ring finger matched mine as a pair. Ethan liked it instantly. I quickly posted a comment, "A perfect match, may you have a harmonious union for 100 years." The next second, Ethan's call came in, "The young girl is just playing around, what are you being sarcastic about there?" "I am sincerely blessing you," I said expressionlessly. "Unreasonable." Ethan hung up the phone in anger. I casually threw the cake on the table into the trash bin, along with a full table of dishes. On my phone, Lily sent a message, "Sister Iris, today I lost a truth or dare and had no choice but to post on Facebook. Sister, please don't mind. Ethan is really great. I envy you, sister." I ignored her. Ethan returned only at dawn, reeking of smoke and alcohol, mixed with an unfamiliar perfume scent. He saw the gift on the coffee table that I hadn't had time to tidy up, picked it up, and glanced at it casually. It was a woven bracelet. He curled his lip, so rustic. I had woven the bracelet for many days, grinding calluses on my fingers, and even had it blessed at Keith's temple with 3 bows and 9 cowdows. It was casually tossed back into the box. My heart sank along with it, but I said nothing, just silently put the things away. The next day, he slept until noon before waking up. After washing up, he handed me 2 tickets to an art exhibition. A friend gave them, "Let's go see it together. Don't waste them." Ethan was a respectable person. Even if he disliked me, he would still earnestly maintain the marital relationship, just like at this moment, trying hard to repair yesterday's conflict. However, I had already seen these art exhibition tickets on Lily's Facebook. What a pity for the couple's world that hadn't yet been enjoyed. I didn't want to go. Ethan explained to me in a gentle tone, "Yesterday was really truth or dare, you know Frank and that group, they love to tease me the most." Frank was an old employee who started the business with us. We had fought side by side with great rapport. He wasn't like what Ethan said, unaware of boundaries. But I couldn't be bothered to expose him. Then I'll tidy up. I casually hung up his coat thrown on the sofa, and an early pregnancy ultrasound slip fell from the inner pocket. Patient name, Lily, date, yesterday. His face darkened, he snatched it fiercely and yelled at me, "Who allowed you to go through my things?" Caught off guard, I was pushed by him and crashed into the entrance cabinet. The ceramic jar we had fired together on the cabinet shook and fell, shattering with a crash. I lowered my eyes to look at the fragments all over the floor, remaining motionless. I also didn't notice that my palm had been cut by a flying shard, drawing a streak of blood. He held my bleeding hand, frowned, and softened his tone, "All right, go to the hospital first to bandage it." Numbly, I followed him into the car. While driving, Ethan muttered under his breath, "So clumsy, can't do anything right." I wanted to argue a bit, clearly, it was you who pushed me. But then I thought, forget it. I stared blankly out the window, a trace of bitterness rising in my heart. The car was silent. I casually opened the music on the central control screen. The top one was a playlist named Her Songs. My fingers subconsciously clicked on the playlist. The first song was the love song we once loved to duet at KTV, also my entrance music on our wedding day. Besides that, most were Japanese and Korean dance songs favored by young girls. Ethan caught my action from the corner of his eye and irritably turned off the central screen. He explained dryly, "Someone else saved it randomly." I turned my head to look out the window, my heart full of desolation, only uttering Silent until the intersection near the hospital, his phone rang. He answered, his voice carrying a tension I had never heard. "Why does it hurt again?" "Don't be afraid, I'll come right over." After hanging up, he quickly unlocked the car door and said rapidly, "Go in yourself, Lily is unwell, I'll go check on her." After saying that, he didn't even wait for me to take my coat from the car and sped away. In the deep autumn night, I shivered as I walked a long way to the hospital. After returning home, I fell seriously ill with a high fever. And Ethan hadn't come home for several days. I thought he wouldn't come back. Unexpectedly, a few days later at dawn, he slammed the door open with full fury. Why hasn't the proposal for the Young Garden theme event been written yet? Henry is urging urgently, he needs it early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, no cooperation. Finish it tonight. Looking at his self-righteous face, I felt disheartened. My hand is injured, I can't write. Ethan's face showed displeasure. Such a small wound, do you have to be so dramatic? Dramatic? I was the only child at home. Before being with him, I couldn't even stir-fry vegetables. He always said outside food had too much MSG, eating too much upset his stomach. So, following recipes, from cutting potato shreds and injuring my hand, to later being able to prepare a full table of banquet dishes to entertain his so-called brothers. The blisters from burns on my hands turned into calluses. In the early days of starting the business, I wore ill-fitting high heels, following him step by step, blocking drinks for him. At midnight when he slept, I got up, gulped down coffee to write proposals, watching every execution detail day and night. It turns out, all these could be lightly dismissed by him with one word, dramatic. I said nothing. I just calmly walked into the study, took out the already prepared divorce agreement, and placed it in front of him. In the future, find someone else to write for you. Early the next morning, the divorce agreement was still on the table. I recalled Ethan's reaction last night upon seeing it, no shock at all. He just thought I was making unreasonable trouble again. If you don't write, then don't. Is divorce necessary? He sneered, kicked the stool away, crazy. It turns out that not being loved feels like this. No matter how you express yourself, he would turn a blind eye and even treat you as crazy. I put the divorce agreement into the drawer. Leisurely, I turned into the dining room and made myself a cup of coffee. Just as I picked up the coffee, Ethan's message arrived unexpectedly. Awake yet? Send the client souvenirs from last Hong Kong trip to the company. After a few minutes, another message, detour to that coffee shop on Xinfeng Road, bring a cup of osmanthus rice wine latte. Client is waiting, hurry. In the past, upon seeing such instructions, I would immediately drop everything, grab the car keys, and head out, fearing that being late would lose the business. This time, I glanced at the screen and turned it off. I continued sipping my coffee, watching the sycamore leaves fall one by one outside the window. Ethan arrived home after 9 in the evening. He stacked his briefcase at the entrance, his voice carrying obvious displeasure. What's wrong with you today? No reply to messages, souvenirs, and coffee not delivered. Almost embarrassed me in front of the client. If not for Lily stepping in timely, the deal would have fallen through. I was nestled on the sofa reading a book. Upon hearing, I lifted my head. Under the warm living room light, the irritation between his brows was as usual. In the past, at such times, I would immediately get up to explain or apologetically heat up a midnight snack for him. This time, I just folded a corner of the page, closed the book. My gaze calmly fell back on his face. Phone was on silent, didn't see it. Moreover, I didn't want to run that far. He seemed not to understand, stunned in place. He probably truly felt uneasy. On Friday after work, he carried a limited edition Jimmy Choo shoebox. Saw you haven't added new shoes lately, passing the window, thought you might like it. His tone was deliberately light. I was squatting on the floor organizing books. I looked up at the stiletto heels in his hand. I liked them. Similar style, I had liked them in the year we married. But that year he said, sorry, Iris, I can't afford such expensive shoes now. When I make money later, I'll definitely buy you more high heels you like. At that time, I was blinded by love, naively thinking hardship was temporary. Everything would be fine. However, 3 years ago, while entertaining for him, my ankle fractured, and I lay in bed for a full half-year. Yet he immediately changed the planner to Lily. At that time, she was just a small marketing assistant. Lying in the hospital bed, I questioned him why. He hugged me tightly, saying not to work so hard, just hand it to the assistant. He also said Lily was personally recruited by me, she would definitely do well. I believed him. From then on, under his guidance, she quickly grew into the current marketing director. And I, from that day, stayed idle at home, becoming the one writing proposals behind the scenes. My right ankle has been fractured. You said back then that you wouldn't let me wear high heels anymore. I withdrew my gaze, my voice calm as if reciting. His arm hung in midair, voice dry. Is that so? I forgot. I smiled self-mockingly and turned to continue organizing the bookshelf. Yet in my mind emerged the scene from the afternoon at the home furnishing store next to Jimmy Choo. Through the floor-to-ceiling glass, he was intimately embracing that girl. The next day was the monthly dinner with my parents. I originally thought he would find an excuse to decline as before. After all, when we married, my parents had verbally opposed it, but ultimately couldn't persuade me. This time, he proposed to go with me. I was stunned for a moment, a bit surprised, but still nodded in agreement. But just before leaving, he received the familiar call. Lily's weak voice with a sob came from the receiver. Ethan, Lele is missing. I can't find it. What to do? Lele was a dog she raised. Ethan comforted her while grabbing keys. Don't worry, I'll come right over. After hanging up, he remembered and explained to me, I have something, you go first. I replied, okay. He hesitated, you're not angry? What a joke, I don't want you anymore. What anger? Not angry, nothing to be angry about. He dubiously opened the door and left. That night when he returned home, unprecedentedly he asked, did parents make it difficult for you? Of course not. I mentioned to my parents that I wanted a divorce. They unanimously agreed. After all, they had been waiting to hold grandchildren, and Ethan was almost infertile. No. They're used to it too. Having lost face, he was unwilling and continued to find topics. The wound on your hand still hurts? I was packing the wardrobe. Those gray or black shirts worn to work, I stuffed them all into the trash bag. No need to trouble. I didn't even lift my head, just replied casually. But he persisted, I brought you an imported spot-removing cream, try it. Upon hearing, I reached out to take it and threw it into the trash bag along with the Jimmy Choo pair. His face instantly turned ugly, as if stung by this action. What exactly have you been fussing about lately? Isn't it just a broken jar? Sulking all day, making a fuss over a small matter. Always lifeless, almost ruining my client. Jinx. The air froze. I stopped my actions, quietly looked at him for a few seconds, seeing him like a clown, incompetent and furious. Then I turned and walked into the guest room. The door lock gently closed behind me, blocking his glaring stare. He obviously wasn't used to such confrontation, following to the guest room door. What exactly do you want? Through the door panel, his voice was particularly muffled and hoarse. Recalling the winter of our early dating year. After our first argument, he stubbornly waited downstairs my dorm in Beijing's sub-zero night. From the 6th-floor window, I looked down and saw him wrapped in a black down jacket pacing in the snow, his exhaled white breath blurring his face. In just half an hour, I softened. Running downstairs, I forgot to wear a coat, shivering from the cold. He immediately opened his coat to wrap me in, his icy nose tip against my forehead. Two young people tightly embraced in the snow, becoming the warmest memory of that winter. Nothing in particular. Just don't want to be a fool anymore. Outside the door fell into long silence. Then Ethan's footsteps sounded, gradually fading into the living room's darkness. After that, I signed up for the independent curator qualification exam. The library became my most frequent place. Pushing open the home door near 11, unusually he wasn't asleep, leaning on the sofa with the TV screen dark. Back? Why so late lately? He got up and walked over, carrying the faint laundry detergent scent on his pajamas. His tone was rarely gentle. Like long ago, he opened his arms to hug me. But my body reacted faster than my brain, suddenly raising my arm to block him, sidestepping to avoid the embrace. The action was so quick that we both froze. This was the first time in so many years I rejected his approach. In the past, even when arguing, at night we'd sleep back to back despite the anger. Waking up at midnight, finding myself rolled back into his arms. Back then, no one could imagine such a day. The smile on his face stiffened. Going to shower. I bent to change shoes, voice without fluctuation. But I knew everything had changed. The loud slam of the door echoed in the hallway. I slept well all night. The next day when I returned home, I saw Ethan squatting on the guest room floor, repairing a humidifier broken for many years. I remember. You used to say sleeping with this on is comfortable. I stared at the aromatherapy machine disassembled into pieces on the floor. No. The one who couldn't sleep well wasn't me. In those years, the entrepreneurial pressure was so great that he often got up at midnight to smoke. How many late nights I quietly got up to add water and adjust essential oils to the aromatherapy machine, just to let him sleep well. Don't repair it. Some things, once broken, are broken. On the 20th day of the Cold War, the industry group pushed several event group photos. In the photos, he was embracing the girl, the diamond necklace around her neck dazzling. Last month he said company turnover, using most of the deposits in our joint account. I remember when I signed, he kissed my hair, will replenish soon, buy you better ones later. Someone in the group envied, Ethan is generous, this necklace is enough to buy an apartment. I screenshot it and sent to my lawyer. When Ethan returned, it was already noon the next day. He explained, the organizer required bringing a female companion. I was busy looking at cases, no time to deal with him. Who you bring is your freedom, you don't need to explain to me. Ethan exhaled lightly and sat on the sofa too. He pushed 2 VIP tickets over, rarely cautious. Aren't you taking the curator qualification exam? This exhibition next week should help you. Heard the curator is specially invited to the Venice Biennale. I knew the client he was recently pursuing had just posted a teaser video of this exhibition on Facebook last week. I didn't expose him, just nodded, leave the tickets, I'll go. On the day of the exhibition, Ethan specially came to pick me up. When the car door opened, his female subordinate was sitting in the passenger seat. I glanced at Ethan. His eyes panicked. He said, Lily, go sit in the back, let Sister Iris sit in front. Lily didn't move, just coquettishly to Ethan, Ethan, such a small matter, Sister Iris won't mind. Right, Sister Iris? Indeed. I smiled faintly at her, trivial matter, you'll have plenty of opportunities in the future. Ethan glanced at me, seeming to question why I was being sarcastic again. Getting out of the car, just entering the exhibition center. Lily was on tiptoe adjusting Ethan's collar when suddenly a small commotion arose at the entrance. An elderly white-haired man walked through the crowd, holding my hand. Growing Towards the Sun was planned by you? Last year during review, I voted full marks. I remembered that was the only full marks vote. Ethan stepped forward half a step, extending his hand with business card gleaming between fingers. But the old gentleman seemed not to see, focusing only on me, my team needs talent like you. Ethan was left aside, his face ashen. During the banquet, everyone started mingling. Occasionally someone toasted Ethan and his female director. He didn't hide, Lily is pregnant, really can't drink. I'll toast for her. The crowd's looks towards me carried sympathy. Who in the circle didn't know that I, this desperate woman, once miscarried due to drinking with clients? That day entertaining, he took Lily's call and hurriedly left, leaving me alone. Only when I was sent to the hospital by ambulance did he appear. Following behind was Lily. She smiled provocatively at me. Ethan, ignoring my blood-covered body, yelled at me, "Can't you be more careful? Can't even keep a child, what use are you?" Later I learned Ethan had congenital asthenospermia. Even if pregnant, it was hard to keep. But I couldn't bear to let go of years of feelings, building up my mental preparation. Even without children, I wanted to be with him forever. Thinking of this, I stepped forward and slapped Ethan with all my strength. His left cheek quickly swelled red. Lily flashed in front, voice trembling, What right do you have to hit? I didn't look at her, gaze only on Ethan's face. Third party interfering, should I applaud? Ethan, fearing I'd impulsively hit again, pulled Lily into his arms, protecting her well. Iris, enough. Who should know when to stop? I heard my voice unusually calm. Need I remind you, we haven't gotten the divorce certificate yet? More onlookers gathered. Seeing it hard to end, his face changed, fiercely grabbing my wrist, almost dragging me to the parking lot. Have you fussed enough? What do you want? Divorce? Then I'll fulfill you. His eyes bloodshot, pinning me against the car. Iris, think clearly, don't come crying back begging. I pried his fingers off one by one, staring into his eyes. Tomorrow at 9, see you at the Civil Affairs Bureau. But Ethan didn't appear as agreed. I sent messages to both families' elders and several mutual friends, notifying of our divorce. At 10:30, I dragged my suitcase back to pack the last items. Just as the key turned, the door was yanked open from inside. Ethan stood in the entrance shadow, eyes red-veined. Phone screen still lit with several unread messages. His voice hoarse, with alcohol breath, "Are you crazy? Now everyone is asking what I did to wrong you." You did indeed. I bent to change shoes, voice calm. He grabbed my wrist hard. Must make it so ugly? Can't we solve our matters privately? I lowered my eyes to his ring finger, then looked up at him. A reminder. Next time accompanying her to public occasions, remember to remove the ring first. Otherwise, it looks quite bad. The force gripping my wrist instantly loosened. I sidestepped between him and the door frame, smelling the lingering perfume on him, cloyingly sweet. The second week after the divorce news spread, his brother called at dawn. The background noisy. Sister-in-law. Sister Iris, Ethan drank too much, keeps hugging the bottle calling you. Business fell through, he can't take this blow. I was adjusting the studio lighting angles. Call Lily. You have her number too. The other end paused, but Ethan says he doesn't want to see anyone now, just once. Then let him hug my name and sleep under the bridge. No space here to shelter dirty things. Before hanging, I added, right, don't call me that next time. I'll soon not be your sister-in-law. Ethan's business failing was no surprise to me. After all, most of his major clients were ones I secured. The Richard order was the proposal I wrote lying in bed after miscarriage. He complained the other party had too many demands. It was me waiting for emails at 4 a.m. for a week, finally opening the door with a bilingual proposal. Victor from the building materials city, once at a drinking party, put his hand on my leg. Ethan then only focused on eating with head down. I accidentally poured a hot teapot over him. On the way back, he blamed me. Couldn't you just endure it? It turns out his disregard for me had early signs. And I, blindly loving him, had long lost myself in self-moved emotions. Once when I had fever and lost voice, he had to meet clients himself. Returning with crooked tie, first words, turns out those people are so tricky. I actually felt heartache then. Now thinking, what he lost wasn't me, but a fool always covering for him. On the studio opening day, Ethan's assistant came with his check. The amount was considerable, enough to buy 3 years' use of my studio. Ethan says, count it as his gesture. Looking at his flamboyant signature on the check, I recalled the miscarriage hospitalization night. After scolding me, he left. I waited for him to sign the surgery consent. What came was his assistant, sending a perfunctory bouquet. I laid the check into the shredder entrance, coldly watching the thin paper turn to shreds. Go back, tell him, expired gestures, no one wants. Soon the studio started formal curation. Midway through the preview, Lily appeared behind me, with a cloyingly sweet perfume scent. This scent was familiar. Ethan's car had it, his shirt collar too. Sister Iris. Do you know how hard it is for Ethan now? He lost major clients, company can't hold on. You really don't care what outside says? They say you're an ungrateful wolf, not cherishing old feelings. Old feelings? I lifted my head from the exhibit list. What kind? His affair during marriage, or your knowing third-party old feelings? Her face changed, but soon smiled. At least when he needs now, it's me accompanying him. I took the next painting's label from the assistant, checking the number. Pretty good. Then you should go accompany him to talk clients, not come here to find me. I pasted the label straight, stepped back 2 steps to review the effect. After all, the one who should be anxious isn't me. I took the water from the assistant, drank a sip. Right, suggest you change perfume. Didn't Ethan tell you? That tricky client Richard hates this scent the most. She stood in place, as if nailed in that light. And I had turned, walking to my partner. Ultimately, Ethan asked several old friends to arrange a gathering. When I arrived, he specially stood to pull the chair for me. Friends smiled to smooth, so many years of feelings, what can't be talked properly. Thanks. But in the future, my and his matters, no need for everyone to worry. The whole table suddenly quieted. That meal was eaten quickly. In less than half an hour, everyone successively found excuses to leave. He insisted on sending me. On the elevated road, traffic was motionless, ahead accidents red-blue lights glaring in the night. He irritably opened the door, got out to smoke. I continued reading proposal files in the car. A page slipped under the passenger seat. I bent to pick it, fingertips touched a cold hard folder corner. Pulling it out, by the flashing lights outside, I saw my name printed on the cover. Inside was a high-amount accident insurance policy, beneficiary position prominently his name Ethan. The insurance date was those days he left me on the road with fever to 39 degrees. Outside the car, he backed to me, cigarette tips red glow flickering in the dark. I took out my phone, photographed the policy content, signature, date 1 by 1. Then, stuffed the folder back intact into that gap. When he pulled open the door to sit back, bringing in a cool night breeze. Almost clear, he said. I looked at the lit taillights ahead, and murmured. On Ethan's company anniversary day, I attended in full dress. Stepping into the banquet hall in high heels, many old colleagues were stunned. Ethan raised a glass to me from below the stage, smile not fully formed. Lights dimmed, but spotlight hit me. I opened the slides. All original proposal drafts. The flows of the new media company he registered for Lily corresponded one-to-one with his company's outsourcing projects. The last slide was a close-up of that accident insurance policy. Beneficiary signature, his handwriting bold and forceful. They say a man's top love is to bring her growth. I smiled looking at the dead silent audience below. Ethan, you used my ideas to nurture her, used insurance to scheme me. Fun? Below dead silent. Projection ended. I looked at Ethan, his face ashen. As expected, Ethan's company couldn't hold. He blocked me at the studio door, unshaven, grabbing my wrist. The company is your effort too. Those projects we fought together. What will it take for you to stop? Any condition, I'll agree. I pulled back my hand, looking at his red eyes. My condition never changed from the start, divorce. It's you unwilling. As for your company. What to me? Before words fell, Ethan's phone rang. He mechanically answered, the other side collapsed crying, Iris got lawyer to sue me for plagiarism. Ethan, you. Ethan holding phone, staring dead at me. I had turned and pushed open the glass door. For the first time, he hung up. Soon, my lawyer's letter arrived at Ethan's company. Ethan opened the first envelope, divorce agreement. He tugged his mouth, casually threw on the desk. The second envelope much thicker. Pulling out documents, action still with usual impatience, until seeing the header, intellectual property infringement and economic compensation lawsuit. Plaintiff, Iris. He stared for a long time. Didn't throw things, didn't call. Just slumped in that leather office chair, pinching the lawsuit copy, sitting from dusk to midnight. When outside window daylight gradually brightened, he finally lifted his head. At the divorce agreement signature, stroke by stroke wrote his name. I never inquired about Ethan's news again. Just focused on work and curation, inspiration unprecedentedly abundant, winning industry award the next year. Under my partner's lead, the studio held a celebration banquet. The banner he personally hung, "Congratulations Iris," shining brightly. Midway through celebration, he came to my side, "Later I'll follow you, block drinks for you." "How do you know they'll force me to drink?" "Because I have insiders." At the drinking party, indeed someone booed. He picked up my glass, drank in one gulp, then smiling patted the other's shoulder, "This cup I'll take. She flies to Munich tomorrow to see Venus. If drunk, I can't afford to compensate." As it ended, light rain started. He draped his suit jacket on my shoulders, himself only in shirt. "No need." I wanted to decline. "Wear it. If catch cold delay progress, I'd have to split into two." Car heater on full. Waiting at red light, he suddenly said, "Actually, when you married, I gave red envelope." I was stunned. 38,000. Then thinking. He smiled, "Forget it, not appropriate now." Car quiet for seconds. I softly said, "Daniel, when you marry, I'll double return." He first froze, then laughed loudly. Laughter echoed lightly in the sealed cabin, with a relaxation I'd never heard. Nearing home, the pleasant atmosphere was disrupted by a call. "Iris," Ethan knelt at door half-day. "Crying asking us old couple to persuade you." After hanging Mom's call, the car had entered the U-turn lane. Entering, Ethan had been persuaded to sofa, eyes red. My face livid. I didn't understand him, clearly didn't love me. Now acting what deep affection drama. "We're already over. Don't disturb my parents." His eyes moist, rushed over gripping my hand hard. "Sorry. I was wrong, Iris. Forgive me this time, let's start over, okay?" I sneered, pulled back hand. "Ethan, you've touched others' hands, I find dirty." He stiffened, as if not knowing me, suddenly turned glaring at nearby Daniel. "Because of him? Iris, you so fast." I sidestepped in front of Daniel. "We're divorced, who I'm with is my business." Pausing slightly, I added, "One more thing, never told you. After previous miscarriage, doctor's diagnosis report always at box bottom. Doctor said you have asthenospermia, almost impossible to impregnate." "So Ethan, guess. Is Lily's pregnancy yours?" Ethan's face blood color instantly faded. Lips moved, no sound, slammed door and left. On the day the divorce agreement took effect, the sunshine was exceptionally good. When the lawyer handed me the final documents, casually mentioned, "Ethan DUI accident, hurt injured spine, lying many days." The other party's family unrelenting. "This time, afraid he'll go in for some years. His mistress ran away long ago without trace." I nodded, put the documents into bag. Actions calm as collecting ordinary exhibition materials. My share of property, not a cent less. Number more considerable than imagined, I allocated part to the studio. When Daniel saw the financial statement, whistled. "Now good, I have to work hard, or really become working for you." I took the tablet he handed. Gaze skimmed his gentle smiling face, looking to the nearby dock. Seagulls skimmed the clear sky, spreading wings away.